In the world of Donald Trump, how ironic would it be if the so-called Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, was caught lying about a looming Pentagon issue? You know, the institution that oversees the largest military in the world? Well, that scenario is real, and a Pentagon insider is blowing the whistle on the whopper that Hegseth just told the easily influenced Trump, and a heavy breakdown of the move that puts vital members of our democracy in jeopardy. Lying has always been a part of politics, but Donald Trump has turned it into standard operating procedure. It now feels like each lie has to top the previous lie, and lying has become institutionalized to such a level, Trump's own cabinet members are lying to him to shape policy. I have the video that exposes Hegseth in just a minute, but first let's take a look at the web of lies that are being spun by other Trump loyalists today. First in our tour of tall tales is Mehdi Hassan, who called out what J.D. Vance just said about political violence with a post that reads, "A complete and utter lie from Vance, just a brazen and demonstrable and debunked lie about the statistics that show the reverse."
And real unity requires us to acknowledge the fact that while, yes, there are crazies on both sides, we have a country of 330 million people, you're going to be able to find crazies on either side. Political violence is just a statistical fact. It's a bigger problem on the left. And if you had, God forbid, somebody on the left who was assassinated, I'm sure that you could find one person who would maybe celebrate it or one person who would be offensive. But the fact that it became mainstream to celebrate Charlie's death, to talk about the fact that he maybe deserved to die because he had said hateful things like, we don't want women playing, or we don't want men playing in women's sports. I want our country to be unified again. I really do. I mean, I'm the Vice President of the United States. I really do feel like I represent every single person, even the people who say disgusting things. But if we're going to have real unity in this country, we're all going to have to acknowledge that killing people for what they think and what they believe is wrong. And right now, that violent impulse is a bigger problem on the left than the right.
Next up is Ron Filipkowski, who calls liar, liar, pants on fire on what Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent said about the No Kings rallies. These people are either delusional, knowingly lying, or just psychotic. There has already been 2 of these. They were attended by millions and entirely peaceful. Touch grass, Bessent. Have a listen, and on the other side, Hegseth lies to Trump about a very important Pentagon matter.
We're on day 15, and it doesn't look like there's any sign of a deal.
Well, there's a thought out there that they're at least waiting to this crazy No Kings rally this weekend, which is going to be the farthest left, the hardest core, the most unhinged in the Democratic Party, which is, a big title. And, no kings equal no paychecks.
What's weird about that is Bessent is Secretary of Treasury, so he is way out of his lane. But Trump appointed him and other loyalists because they will support every lie. And speaking of loyalists, next we have Pete Hegseth lying, but not for Trump, lying to Trump. Pentagon insider Barbara Starr broke it down on CNN.
To what Secretary Hegseth said about how these new rules would affect that.
Maybe the policy should look like the White House or other military installations where you have to wear a badge that identifies that you're press, or you can't just roam anywhere you want. It used to be, Mr. President, the press could go anywhere, pretty much anywhere in the Pentagon, the most classified area in the world.
Is that true?
No, absolutely not. And he knows it, and he should be telling the president the truth. Reporters, first of all, have worn badges identifying themselves, just like you do at the White House, the State Department, Capitol Hill, for decades. So that has been taken care of. Going anywhere they want? Absolutely not. Several months ago, Hegseth further restricted where reporters could even walk in the Pentagon. But prior to that, no. They go where they have business to conduct. They go to Starbucks to get coffee in the morning. But they don't go into classified areas, and they don't go chasing people down in the hallway. Let me make a point about that, however. Over the years I covered the Pentagon, we often, all of us, ran into the Secretary of Defense or the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs in the hallway, and they would come to the press area to have a chat. Hey, what's going on? What are you guys working on? What's up? There was very much this ongoing communication. What Hegseth is about to lose, I don't think he even comprehends. He's about to lose the ability to have communication with millions of Americans who read blogs, read newspapers, tune into TV to get military news, to find out what's going on, to find out how their tax money's being spent, what the troops are up to, how military families are doing, how women and minorities are doing in the military. He's going to have a tough time really communicating. And that's very different than President Trump, as you know, Caitlin. Mr. Trump likes to talk to the media every day that he's in office. Hegseth almost never talks to the media. And I think behind the scenes, the big question that's being whispered about more and more is, what is Hegseth afraid of? If he's afraid of leaks, go after those he believes are leaking. If he's afraid of not showing the president how tough he is, well, he probably needs to start by telling the truth about what's really going on with the media and the Pentagon and going from there. I think he's about to potentially run into a buzzsaw of trouble because reporters are going to continue to report, whether they're inside the building or not.
If there's one thing we've learned about Trump's White House and now the Pentagon, the truth is to be treated like the enemy. And Pete Hegseth just fired another round of lies straight into the heart of our democracy while dropping some friendly fire on his boss. I say friendly fire because I don't think Trump would mind at all. To him, a lie told to neuter the press is a lie well told. And what Hegseth is maneuvering towards is just another example of how authoritarianism works. First, you smear the truth tellers, and Team Trump has been very busy doing that. Then you fence them out, which in this case results in the American people not knowing what is going on within the Pentagon and military. Let's hope Hegseth's big lie lands him in that buzzsaw of trouble that Starr speaks of sooner rather than later. I'm Dan, thanks for watching, and now I want to know what you think. Please comment below, and let's continue to occupy democracy together.